I'm gonna pretty much go over what I said on my last video. When I believe Lisa Morris Julian was taken out because it was known that she would have become the next Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. In a head-to-head matchup between Lisa and Kamala, who would have won? Who would have been the obvious choice for the country? So I think pressure was applied to Julia, and both parties are complicit in this cover-up of her death, because it's a year later and we have no updates, no reports, no anything on how this person died. And it seems to me like the people of the citizens of the country don't understand how urgent this situation is with Lisa, because we're talking about, let's compare this to United States, right? In the United States, when there's an election and when like parties are like preparing for the candidates and they know who their candidates are, those representatives would be assigned like Secret Service protection. But it seems you guys don't have anything like that in Trinidad, right? So it was known that in this election process that Lisa Morris Julian would have been chosen to be the next leader of the PNM. So she had to be taken out. And to clarify my point on that, I wanna play this video right here for you.
As the eldest daughter of Raymond and Anne Morris, Lisa embodied the spirit of a big sister. Her care extended far beyond her immediate family, shaping her identity as a teacher, a politician, and a friend.
Lisa offered herself again to serve the people of Dabadi-Omera, the greater Arima community. Lisa came for screening recently, and the screening lasted approximately 1.5 minutes. Because as chairman of the screening committee, I had no questions to ask Lisa. And as part of the process, I will ask the rest of my colleagues, do you have any question for the young lady? And the answer was no. That was the end of Lisa Morris Julian's screening. Because we knew everything we wanted to know about her. And she had so conducted herself in such a way that on that occasion, in that process, no member of the screening committee wanted to find out anything about her, because she had so conducted herself as an exemplar.
Lisa's passion for teaching defined much of her life. Over a decade of service at Barataria South Secondary School and Arima Central Secondary School, she left a profound legacy. She was not just a teacher. She was a mentor, a counselor, and a protector. She cared deeply for her students, often using her own money to ensure they had what they needed. She changed lives in ways many of us may never fully know.
But today, I can tell you without fear of contradiction, in my own mind, and for those who have the proof, that there has been no better person that I have met who have offered herself or himself for service, and who have taken it in the best way it could be taken, than Lisa Morris Julian.
The next Prime Minister, what would have become the next Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, was taken out. I will go a step further to say I think there was foul play regarding her death. And the first PNM government, hiding the release of the report, that was Marvin Gonzalez, remember that? And now over to Marvin Alexander. Why is the report on the death of Lisa Morris Julian such a big secret? Why is it a year later and citizens are still clamoring for answers, still coming up? It's to a point where we have no answers, so we have to come up with theories as to what this might happen. That is why I am now on this trend that a potential prime minister of the country was killed, and we have no follow-up, no care, no concern, no whatsoever. And a year later, these politicians are. I do know that they were friends with Lisa, but to see them playing their memorials and not actually clamoring for justice, for not pushing for the real reason why the fire was started, what caused the fire, were the accelerants, was this on purpose, was something placed in a gas tank, like the I don't want to go too wild, like for example the Israeli pager system. You know how the Israelis, they went and they planted bombs inside these pagers and then explode them at will. Do all of the politicians in Trinidad have to now check their gas canisters to see if there's something attached to it? What is going on here? So the next leader of the country was taken out under suspicious circumstances, and we still have no answers a year later. And these politicians on both sides, well, now I'm going to call out the PNM, because what got me into this rage today, because I'm really pissed off, is Penny Beckles went onto Facebook and she posted a memorial of Lisa Morris Julian, with her prayers and all this. Actually, let me bring up that post, what she said. And this is what actually triggered me. I'm not in it tonight. And to be quite honest with you people of Trinidad are letting me down. You're disappointing me. I expected my people to be so much smarter than this. Why am I the only one who's alerted here? Who is in a panic? So I wanna go back to this post that actually got me triggered. So Penny Beckles today shared this post on Facebook. Today we remember our dear Lisa Morris Julian and her precious children Zion and Josiah Julian. Another day passes that their absence is not felt, and today we pause together as a people to remember, to honor, and to hold space for the love they poured into this world. Lisa's kindness, grace, and quiet strength, and the light carried by Zion and Josiah continue to live in the hearts of all those who knew them. We take comfort in the promise of God's word. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. Psalm 34:18. Today we lift the Morris and Julian families in prayer, asking God to surround them with His peace and strengthen them in moments of grief, and to remind them that they do not walk this journey alone. I also extend this prayer to our nation, that we may find compassion, unity, and healing even in the face of such profound loss. We ask God that Lisa, Zion, and Josiah continue to inspire the very best in us to love more deeply, to care more intentionally, and to hold one another a little closer. May they continue to rest in eternal peace. All right, this on face value, it's a good post from a human being, right? But this is not just an average citizen in Trinidad. I know maybe Lisa may have been her friend, and it's cool to put out a post like this, but you are the leader of an opposition party and the loss of Lisa is why you are in opposition. The way the country is in a mess right now because of this right here. The whole linchpin to the UNC gaining power in Trinidad was with the death of Lisa Morris Julian. And who would her death benefit? And I will put this out there. I'm saying this with my whole chest. I think the fire at Lisa Morris Julian's house was arson. A year later, and we still have no report on the fire, no cause, no circumstances, and we have had two ministers of national security that is now keeping this silent from the people. So, if you were to have two working brain cells in your head, there is something in this report that the government, both governments, and I am now calling them both because they're now both complicit in this, what is being hidden. And Penny Beckles, as a politician, instead of putting out this soft ass God post, bless Lisa Morris Julian, why don't you get some fucking balls and demand that the report on her murder, her death, whatever, be released? I don't want to see no shit like this from you, a politician. And what actually really pissed me off about this post is I went onto this post and I commented and I said, what is going on with the investigation into this? Why isn't the report being released? Why are you making posts like this and not also clamoring for the truth to be let out? And you know what this piece of shit politician did? She blocked me. So this pissed me off completely. And if you know anything about me, I have a problem with people censoring my speech. The whole reason why I started doing this in the first place was people started to block me. So when you block someone, when you're on Facebook, you fucking politicians might think this is some kind of game. This is like some kind of cheap thrill with you, but it is not. When you block when you block someone on Facebook, you are blocking the voice, the speech, the words of another citizen. Twitter, now known as X, has this policy where politicians are not allowed to ban, block, or censure the voices of their citizens. I would like to see this policy being instituted onto Facebook and to YouTube. And I would like to also somehow send a message to the people, to these politicians that I don't know, maybe I flipped out too badly on this. Maybe Penny Beckles is not the politician that is actually supervising this page. Maybe she has a lackey that wants to keep the cult speech on one side, right? And maybe I shouldn't be cussing Penny too much because maybe one of her staff members did this. But regardless, you people in government should know that you cannot silence the voices of citizens when they are raising valid concerns. And I went on to this woman's post and asked what is going on with the report, because 2 days ago, Lisa Morris Julian's family stated to the government that they want this report to be made public. Why was that denied? Why is this? What is being hidden here? So that is why I am now on this rant, saying that this woman was killed, and the suspicious ways that this government is acting in covering up her death shows that once the truth comes out, this will lead to the downfall of the entire UNC government. Because I believe that they were complicit in this. That is why there is this big cover-up. Because when Marvin Gonzalez had the fire report in March, or February, March, when he had this year, he said he would release the report before the election. That never happened. So now Marvin Gonzalez yesterday is now on his high horse saying that the report into her death should be released. Hold on. On March 19, 2025, the report on the tragic fire that took the lives of former Member of Parliament for Dabney O'Meara, Lisa Morris Julian, and two of her children is occupying the attention of the new Minister of National Security, Marvin Gonzalez. He promised to release the report before the election. It was not released. And here he is today. Marvin Gonzalez calls for disclosure of report into Lisa Morris Julian tragedy. Why, when you had the report in front of you, Mr. Gonzalez, why did you not release this? Why did you have to transfer this hot potato onto this current idiot Minister of National Security? So now we expect, quite frankly, nothing to be done. Opposition Whip Chief and former Minister of National Security Marvin Gonzalez is calling on the government to disclose the findings of the investigation into the tragic deaths of former Deputy O'Meara MP, PNM MP, now Malaga Musical, Lisa Morris Julian, and 2 of her children, insisting that there is nothing in the report that would compromise the interests of the family or the wider public.
A sister, colleague, mentor, mother, wife and friend, Arima has lost a daughter. Minister in the Ministry of Education and Member of Parliament for Dabadi O'Meara, Lisa Morris Julian, and 2 of her children tragically passed away as fire engulfed their Farfan Street Arima home. Our journalist Diana Carter has more.
The smell of smoke, mixed with sounds of grief, filled the air outside the fire-ravaged home of Member of Parliament for Dabadi O'Meara and Minister in the Ministry of Education, Lisa Morris Julian, and her family. TTT News understands that 8 people were in the Farfan Street Arima home when, in the early hours of Monday morning, neighbors said they saw smoke and fire to the back of the building, which quickly spread throughout the rest of the home. Trinidad and Tobago Fire Service was contacted while neighbors tried to douse the flames. It was discovered that the MP, her 6-year-old son Josiah Morris Julian, and 25-year-old daughter Zion Morris Julian were trapped in the house where they eventually died. Husband Daniel Julian and other relatives were transported to the Arima Hospital for treatment. Mr. Julian was eventually transferred to the Eric Williams Medical Sciences Complex. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley joined Member of Parliament for Arima, Penelope Beckles-Robinson, Member of Parliament for Aruka Maloney, Camille Robinson-Regis, and Arima Mayor Baliram Maharaj at the scene. Other ministers, members of Parliament, mayors and aldermen also visited the scene. Minister in the Office of the Prime Minister Communications, Simon de Nobrega, said he lost more than a colleague. Lisa Morris Julian was family.
I think that the turnout of Cabinet, MPs, residents of Arima and environs speaks volumes as to the person that Lisa was, the impact that she had. And for a moment, just to speak personally, I am broken today. I have lost not just a colleague, I have lost a sister today. I think we all were just here to lend support to the people who are important to her, lend support to each other, and of course, whatever we can do, we just want to be around.
Minister de Nobrega agreed with the description that Ms. Morris Julian epitomized what being in service to the public was.
Lisa was one of the loveliest human beings I have ever met. We served at local government level together, she as a mayor, me as a chairman. And from our time in local government, she was an inspiration, and it is funny to call her a mentor because, you know, she's about my age, but she was a mentor. Absolutely beloved, so it obviously will be a great loss for us as a party, as a team. It's a massive gap that is opened, and I don't think there are words that you could come up with, that I could come up with, to express exactly how profound that loss is.
When approached by members of the media, Commissioner of Police Erla Harewood Christopher was cautious in commenting on the prospect of arson in this tragedy.
Investigations are continuing.
She assured that this case will be given the appropriate priority status. Mrs. Morris Julian was first elected to the House of Representatives in August 2020 and appointed Minister in the Ministry of Education. Ayana Carter, TTT News.
Lisa Morris Julian often boasted about being an Arimian and claimed her indigenous roots proudly. She was the eldest of 7 children and attended the Arima Girls RC School, St. Joseph's Convent St. Joseph, and St. Augustine Secondary School. She then furthered her studies at the University of the West Indies, St. Augustine. Mrs. Morris Julian was an educator and taught English literature and language, communication and theatre arts at the Barataria South Secondary and Arima Central Secondary Schools. She also worked as a Caribbean Examinations Council examiner and an award-winning amateur playwright. She entered politics under the People's National Movement in 2013 as councillor for Arima Central. She rose in the ranks, becoming deputy mayor, then mayor of Arima. In 2020, Mrs. Morris Julian was elected as Member of Parliament for Dabadi O'Meara and appointed as Minister in the Ministry of Education. Lisa Morris Julian passed away on December 16, 2024. The People's National Movement has lost one of its...
Okay. All right, so this is my response down here to her, if you can see it. We need to have a serious conversation on politicians blocking the speech of their citizens. So when she actually silenced me, I lost it. I flipped out, but now a few hours later, I'm trying to calm down a little bit and not maybe say too much that will get me in trouble. So why, Marvin Gonzalez, when you had this report in front of you, why did you not release this to the public? So you actually know the findings of the report. Why don't you open your mouth and tell us how she died, instead of having us here speculating that the UNC murdered Lisa Morris Julian? Slides are not working.
Julian and her entire family has been very, very close to me. It was more than a friend, it was more than family, and I could call her anytime, any day, any hour. Husband Daniel and I, we don't talk about Josiah, Josiah and I had a bond from the time he was started to talk. He could have barely say Mr. Blackman, he'd say Mr. Blackman. And if we are Christian believers, we know that she and her daughter and her son will be in a better, they are in a better place right now. And may their souls rest in eternal peace.
On behalf of the members of Francis Row, we would like to extend our condolence to Lisa Morris Julian and her family and friends. And we do wish her may she rest in peace.
My personal friend, Lisa, rest in peace, and the family. God bless you all. I just want to say her father and I very, very, very close. Condolences to the family, the rest of the living family and friends.
Lisa Morris, the epitome of love and service to the people of Arima and Trinidad and Tobago.
She would have made an awesome prime minister. If Lisa Morris Julian was the prime minister of Trinidad and Tobago, would we have all of this fuckery that is happening currently with this government, people? Would we have a radar system planted in Tobago if Lisa Morris Julian was the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago? Are you guys now seeing why it was important for her to be eliminated? So why is it a year later and we still do not have a reason as to why the fire was started? Who started the fire? What was involved? Were there incendiaries? What caused this? What happened? Why are we still speculating a year later into who or how the next future prime minister of the country of Trinidad could have been taken out? And the way I see both parties reacting to this, like they know the information, they know that this is something that critical that the people would need to see. Why aren't we seeing the PNM now pushing for this to be released harder. I don't want to see no fucking prayers from Penny Beckles. I want to see you pushing to make the report public. So that's why when you made this I wouldn't say stupid post, but stupid post, I don't want to hear your prayers. I want to see action from you. You are the leader of the opposition, and we're at a stage in the country where we're about to lose everything. Trinidad, as the way we know it, is about to change completely within the next 2 years. And why aren't you people, if let's just suppose the UNC killed Lisa Morris Julian, right? Let's just suppose it. Suppose this was true. Wouldn't releasing the report into her death, into the fire, how it started, wouldn't that be like one boat loosening, one hair on the camelback extra, that people can like maybe that could cause some spark in people's mind that this is what these people did to gain power. This is what they did. This is what they had to do. This is what they had to give up to gain the kind of power that they have in Trinidad right now. Someone had to be killed. And why aren't we seeing politicians on the opposition side fighting harder for justice and transparency? Because when this piece of shit government came into power, they promised us transparency. But we're seeing nothing but lies and confusion and obfuscation every fucking day from these people. And today, especially that I was in tears over a woman I've never met. I've gotten myself emotionally involved in this whole situation because, like I've been telling you, Lisa Morris Julian is the key to unraveling this entire UNC government. And they know that. So I'm really pissed off at Marvin Gonzalez. I'm really pissed off at Penny Beckles. And Penny Beckles, you silencing the voices of critical citizens asking critical questions. You by doing that, you're showing me you're not qualified for leadership. I used to be your supporter. Just up to yesterday, I was singing your praises that you're a good leader, but a leader doing something like this, trying to silence the voice of a citizen, that disqualifies you in my mind right there, instantly. Because if you can cut off the voice of a citizen asking valid questions, that means, what is the word I'm looking for? You have some kind of power trip. Assuming this was you that blocked me, Miss Penny Beckles. So you know what? I would not lambast into you too much tonight, because there could be a possibility that it was a junior staff member supervising your Facebook page and silenced my speech. But if I come on here tomorrow and my account is still blocked, you will become, Miss Beckles, a permanent enemy of the Slimy show. I used to be in your corner, but once you start doing authoritarian dictatorial actions like this, that's like a strike against you. Nothing positive can come from that. And you as a leader should be pushing harder for transparency. It's time for you to stop manning up, Penny. It seems to be you know what happened. It's clear that you know what happened. You're in government. You're in government, and you know what happens. So why don't you take the risk and tell us, right? Why can't somebody say what's happening? Okay, baby. I'm not gonna be live much longer. I'm only doing this Lisa Morris presentation. There's a whole lot for me to talk about, but I just wanted to get on and get my points out about Lisa Morris. The shit that is happening, the shit that you guys are accepting for government, it's embarrassing. a future prime minister was taken out, and you guys have no question as to how this happened. You gave this woman a fancy funeral, like she's, and this is how you spit in her face a year later by keeping the people of Trinidad and Tobago stupid as to how she really passed away. Oh no, that copyright. Yeah, I'm just realizing the copyright. This copyright is going to get me playing this music here. So I want you guys to be pissed off. I want you guys to get pissed off.
As the eldest daughter of Raymond and Anne Morris, Lisa embodied the spirit of a big sister. Her care extended far beyond her immediate family, shaping her identity as a teacher, a politician, and a friend.
Lisa offered herself again to serve the people of Dabadi-Omera, the greater Arima community. Lisa came for screening recently, and the screening lasted approximately 1.5 minutes. Because as chairman of the screening committee, I had no questions to ask Lisa. And as part of the process, I will ask the rest of my colleagues, do you have any question for the young lady? And the answer was no. That was the end of Lisa Morris Julian's screening. Because we knew everything we wanted to know about her. And she had so conducted herself in such a way that on that occasion, in that process, no member of the screening committee wanted to find out anything about her because she had so conducted herself as an exemplar.
Lisa's passion for teaching defined much of her life. Over a decade of service at Barataria South Secondary School and Arima Central Secondary School, she left a profound legacy. She was not just a teacher. She was a mentor, a counselor, and a protector. She cared deeply for her students, often using her own money to ensure they had what they needed. She changed lives in ways many of us may never fully know.
But today, I can tell you without fear of contradiction, in my own mind, and for those who have the proof, that there has been no better person that I have met who have offered herself or himself for service and who have taken it in the best way it could be taken than Lisa Morris Julian.
That video had me in tears and it's actually making me choke up right now. So that's why I don't want to do this stream too long. This is a sore topic for me, and to see these politicians handling this like this, it's very upsetting to me. And it's a year later and we still don't have any closure into what took out the next Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. Because if Lisa was to live, we wouldn't have had this Stuart Young debacle, we wouldn't have had this Penny Beckles debacle. It would have been clear cut that Lisa would have been the leader. And in a head-to-head battle, Lisa Morris Julian versus Kamla Prasad Besessa, who do you think the people of Trinidad and Tobago would have chosen? Even with the UNC PSYOP, it wouldn't have been powerful enough to overcome the power of Lisa. So that is why I think I'm saying here to you, she was taken out. Because if Lisa was allowed to live, we would not have, the United States would not have an aircraft carrier right now against Venezuela. They would not be using our country as an aircraft carrier right now if Lisa Morris Julian was allowed to live. So everything that is happening here right now all traces back to her death. The entire path of the country changed on December 16, 2024, when Lisa Morris Julian died. I will bold, you know what, let me boldfacedly say this. When Lisa Morris Julian was taken out, a future prime minister was taken out, and the government, past and prior, has no questions, and they don't want to tell us what happened. That should get you pissed off. With everything that you see happening right now, knowing what I'm telling you right now, that should have you pissed off. But you're still asleep. It's very upsetting, people. And so that's pretty much it. I just wanted to come on here and vent about Lisa. Yeah, that's about it. If you guys, oh, we know I actually do have voice notes to play. Maybe I should do that. But I'm really not in the mood tonight. I'm not in a good mood. I'm angry. I'm angry with what's happening in Trinidad and Tobago. I'm angry at these lies that are being told to the people outright. And if these people can lie about minor and petty things, imagine when it comes to the big stuff. Wasn't there a video that
raises a question? It raises a question, ladies and gentlemen. If they cannot speak the truth in small things, imagine what they will do in big things. My mother used to say, show me a liar and I'll show you a thief.
you people in Trinidad are so disappointing. You just sit back and take this and let these things happen to you. You stupid motherfuckers. You know what? Whatever happens to you people happens to you people. I'm gonna call it a fucking night because you're all fucking stupid. It's like these things happen and you let it keep happening and you let it keep happening. And you know what? I'm just tired.